Good afternoon, CFM. This is Coach Matt with our Friday workout. Let's begin today with 2 rounds through. We're gonna have a PVC pipe. Start with some stretching, some PVC pass-throughs, right? So make sure you keep your elbows straight when you do this and feel the stretch in your chest and your shoulders as it gets to about this like 30 to 45 degrees behind your body right here. If you get to here and you have to bend your elbows, I want you to stop and go back to the front and try to just stretch against that boundary. Wherever you feel like your elbows have to bend, go to just before that, and that's where you want the stretch to occur, okay? Next one is some push press. So push press is gonna come out in the workout, but also at the end of the thruster. We're trying to use the extension of the hips to jump that weight off my shoulders and initiate the upward movement, okay? Next one is hold the weight in the overhead position. We're gonna do a lunge, overhead squat, right? That's our little sequence. It'll be 4, 4, 4, or 4 reps of each. So do lunge on the left, lunge on the right, squat 4 times through. Next one is a 20-second monkey hang. So just get that bar, or grab that bar overhead. Try to have your hands at about shoulder width apart and hang for 20 seconds. And then the final thing will just be, I'm sorry, not the final thing. We'll do some somersaults. Start getting upside down, doing a little tumbling. And then if you want to combine these two, so the single leg eccentric candlestick, right, will be I pick one foot up off the ground and then I'm rolling to my back without letting this foot touch the floor. So I'm trying to sit all the way down, roll back, and then back to my standing position. And if you want to do it all together, you could do something a little fancy, right? So we go like single leg candlestick, roll forward, into the somersault and up, okay? If you want to combine them all, you could do that. Just have a little fun with it, all right? Okay, lifting today, thrusters, right? We're gonna do 4 sets of 3. Today they are not on a clock, so I want these to be as heavy as you can get for sets of 3, right? And we should pick these up off from the floor. So from the ground to the shoulders, 1, shoulders, 2, shoulders, 3, and bar to the ground. All right, so as heavy as I can get for 4 sets of that. You can rest as much as you need to rest in between sets in order to get the best lifts there, okay? If you're looking for percentages, if you did your 1 rep max thruster, this should be upwards of 85%, maybe 90% of what you got for 3 reps. 90% is probably gonna be really, really tough if you did your 1 rep max just because of the demands of this movement, okay? When you finish with that, we have Flex Friday with some grip stuff. The amount of reps and rounds you get will be dependent on how long you rested in between your thrusters, how tired that made you, right? So if you only get 2 rounds because you spend a lot of time on thrusters, that is totally fine. If you blazed through the thrusters and you felt amazing, go for 4, okay? All right, so let's start with some farmer carries. So I've got my two heavy objects. We're gonna pick them up at the end of the rig, walking 40 feet or to one length of the rig, and then go to your bent over position and perform your bent over rows, right? Try to get all those rows done without setting anything down. Then I stand back tall and then walk back to the front, okay? At every end of the rig or 4 times, you're gonna do those 4 reps of a bent over double row. It's only 4 reps, but I would like you to try to be as heavy as possible. So see if you could row the double 53s or the double 70s. Give yourself a challenge. If you absolutely can't do it, then if you wanna stay heavy, set one down and do a single arm row, right? Sometimes the double arm row is harder than the single arm row. Or if you need to, you want to break it up and it's like dramatically asymmetric, then have a lighter weight ready for the rows, right? Next one is 2 dumbbells in your hands. And we're going to start in the seated position and we're going to do double dumbbell shoulder press, right? From the seated position. So I'm going to do 5 reps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then without setting the weight down, I'm going to rock to stand up. And now I'm doing as many reps of that same weight push press as I can until I can't lock it out anymore and I gotta set them down, right? So anytime we go to like that close to threshold on a push press movement, I just wanna say don't hit yourself with the weights and try not to drop them either, okay? The next one we'll do is a 20 rep ring row drop set, right? So we're doing 20 reps, but I want you to start in a really, really tough position. So walk way past the rings, make it as horizontal as possible to where I can only get 7, 8, 9 reps before I can't get my wrists to my rib cage, and then take 2 big steps backwards, right? Walk back until your feet are in line with the rig, and then finish your set of 20. The next one will be a combo movement also. Similar to the shoulder press, push press, we're gonna do dips, right? We're gonna do pause dips for 5, right? So get to my up position, down, pause, up, down, pause, up. And I get to 5. When I get to 5, I'm gonna touch my feet to the ground and I'm gonna get as many reps of a jumping dip as I can, right? So again, you go until you can't lock out that dipping movement anymore, right? And that is it, right? So if you get a couple rounds through that, you'll be great. 2 rounds will be plenty. 3 rounds is probably medium target. 4 rounds will be extremely aggressive, all right? There is some extra credit for chest and arms if you want a little bit more volume. That's afterwards. Make sure you ask your coach about that or look on the board. And that's it for this Friday. Okay, I'll see you guys Saturday.